Welcome everyone. Thank you for watching this webinar hosted by New Zealand Shores and the University of Waikato. My name is Fabian Maisonneuve and I'm a licensed immigration advisor. We at New Zealand Shores, we have assisted thousands of migrants come to New Zealand since 2009. And in some cases, pathways to New Zealand include a period of study in New Zealand. And we are, as education agents, for the vast majority of New Zealand's tertiary providers, one of our roles is to advise on the most appropriate course to achieve your migration goals. So today we would like to showcase a very special education partner, the University of Waikato. And we're extremely fortunate to have the following panelists for this webinar. First, my colleague, licensed advisor and education agent, Jesslyn George. Kia ora, Jesslyn. And of course, we have two Waikato University representatives from the International Office. We have Laura Hill, Regional Lead for Southeast Asia and New Zealand. Thank you, Laura, for joining us today. And we also have Pei Wang, Student Recruitment Manager for Greater China, North Asia and New Zealand. Thank you, Pei. It's really wonderful to have you both here with us. So I'm going to pass this over to you now to give us an overview of what the University of Waikato has to offer. And I hope it's okay for us to jump in if we have questions throughout the slideshow.
Of course. Yeah. A big thank you. And kia ora, New Zealand Shores, Jesslyn, Fabian, everyone. Thanks for joining us and having us along today. So again, thank you for the kind introductions. I'm Laura Hill, Regional Engagement Lead for the University of Waikato, and I'll let my colleague Pei introduce herself.
Kia ora, hi everyone. My name is Pei. I'm the Student Recruitment Manager here at the University of Waikato College, or the Pathway College. I'm really honoured and happy to meet with all of you, Justin, Fabian, and everyone.
Great. So from here, I will share my screen and I'll introduce a little about the University of Waikato to you. As Fabian said, we work alongside and very strongly with New Zealand Shores here, based in Hamilton, the Waikato. So let me share my screen and I will talk and introduce you a little about the university, some of the programs where there may be interest or where we've had a lot of students enroll in the past. And again, just a little bit of general information to help you consider choosing us. So here we go. This is a little bit about the University of Waikato. Well, we'll start with the rankings. Ranked currently in the top 50, 250 of world universities. Recently been placed number 250 in the world, number 1 in research for New Zealand, number 2 for business and economics in all of the New Zealand business schools. Our Waikato Management School is a Triple Crown accredited business school, and we have 15 subjects and subject areas ranked extremely highly in the top 10, 10 in the top 300 globally. So rankings often get asked, and these are some of the key things that we highlight to students. They aren't the only things that should be taken into consideration when considering a university. So we've got some really good rankings, but also let me tell you about some of our programs and facilities. So we do have a number of key programs, and business for us is a real strength. As you saw, we are number 2 now for business and economics. Last year we were number 1, and the only reason for that change is around research sightings and various other mechanisms outside of our control. We are, of course, though, the top 1% of global business schools, and like I mentioned earlier, Triple Crown accredited, and we have amazing satisfaction results from our international students, particularly in terms of learning and student experience. So this is really important, and we're very proud of that fact. Some key programs that we do teach in our management school at undergraduate level are our Bachelor of Business and a new program, our Bachelor of Banking and Information Technology. This is the first degree in New Zealand in this area. And when you think these days around cryptocurrency and trading and the types of ways that we bank, this is very innovative and been designed with industry. So for these undergraduate programs, you'll see that we have various intakes throughout the year. Our undergraduate bachelor's programs are 3 years for business, and all of our undergraduate degrees at the University of Waikato include 1 semester industry internship. So that is work experience. Sometimes it's paid in some companies, and you'll be working in a company on a project 1 day per week.
What are the entry requirements for the banking program, the new one that Waikato has introduced?
So for our entry requirements for our undergraduate programs, we are looking for students to have a suitable entry. Now, we accept entry requirements, we accept entry qualifications from a range of students in range of different backgrounds. That's great, and why we have pay here today. If a student hasn't necessarily completed in New Zealand, for example, we use NCEA. If you haven't completed your final year of high school, or your grades in another country where you've been studying aren't as you'd expected, or you've completed a diploma, for example, in another country that maybe isn't equivalent to what we accept in New Zealand, we have some routes through our pathways, through our Waikato College as a pathway to the university. But generally, we're looking for university entrance. If you're studying in New Zealand, you need to meet you need to have credits from level 2 and 3 NCEA, for example. But again, students coming from a range of backgrounds, we have a dedicated entry requirements page that I can share with everyone, where you can see whatever country you're from, the qualifications that we require for you for undergrad and postgraduate. At master's level, it's slightly different. We do have, again, in our business school, the Waikato Management School, a full suite of master's programs, here in no particular order, but our first program listed is our Master of Business and Management. I've got an additional slide on this shortly. This is one of our key recruiting programs because it's a full intensive year. You get a full range of business and management experience. It has a 1-month consultancy project, so again, internship and industry experience. Similarly, we have some conversion masters. So if you aren't from a business background, but you're wanting to train to be a professional accountant, and again, have routes for employment after your studies, we have a Master of Professional Accounting. You'll note on my slide here that, again, we have a range of master's programs in business, depending on your background. A number you won't need to have studied business in the past, but if you are wanting, for example, to complete our Master of Management, in research, you need to come from a business background. But a lot of our degrees are tailored to enable students from any background to come in, complete a business program, and then graduate and have a job once they've finished. And those jobs and those internships I've mentioned, here are some examples. So you'll see some really global companies and names of industry partners that we have here in the Waikato and across New Zealand. I didn't highlight earlier, and I will get to that, where Waikato is based. And we have 2 campuses here, one here in Hamilton and one in Tauranga. So you'll see here, Port of Tauranga is one of our partners, where our students who are studying in the marine science field are doing their internship. So we place students into internships and industry experience that align with their studies and their interests. And we have a number of partners, and work integrated learning is real strength here at Waikato.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead, Jasmine.
Yeah. Are these internships supported by a university itself, or the student themselves have to figure out the internships?
That's a great question, Jesslyn. And I thought you may ask it. And yes, indeed, we have a dedicated WIL, Work Integrated Learning team. So for majority of our programs, all undergraduate and most of our postgraduate programs, you will be supported in finding that placement, or it is already organised for you. So there is a team there that supports. If you come and study with us and you have a company in your home country where you're interested in perhaps doing your internship, and you returned home for a holiday, for example, that is also something that we've in the past accommodated. So there is a lot of support and provision in terms of making sure your internship and your industry experience is successful.
Are these paid, or
Some
unpaid?
are paid and some are not. So depending again on the program that you're coming into, we do have paid. And again, it does depend on what program you're doing. For example, if you're at undergraduate level, if you're doing a Bachelor's of Engineering, not all internships are paid, but some are. We teach a master. We have, over 300 programs that we teach here at the University of Waikato. So I can't tell you each and every example of programs that are taught but are paid. But yes, there are a number that are, especially at master's level, that are paid. Master of Information Technology, for example, where students are in a workplace and being paid for the hours that they're there. So yes, there are options to have some fees and funds to cover your time for working in that company.
Would you say, Laura, that these internships sometimes or often results in full-time employment being offered?
Most definitely. I can highlight one example of a student I've just been speaking with this morning. He's doing a Master of Professional Accounting. He's 2 weeks away from finishing, and he has 3 job offers. He's accepted one and he's moved to Auckland already. He's completing his final projects off campus. And the reason he's gone there, he was working for a company here in Hamilton, and the Auckland branch had an opening, and he's moved to work with them. So most definitely. And while it's not guaranteed, you're getting your foot in the door of a New Zealand company, and it is allowing you to get the company knowledge, but also the connections. So yeah, we're a very strong advocate for placing students into companies that, like I mentioned earlier, align with their interests. If you're that gentleman who I've mentioned who studied accounting, he had a particular field of accounting that he was really interested in, and that's what he's been able to secure a job in at the end of the day. And he's here with family and has been able to get a really positive outcome from him completing that master's. So yeah, it's really, really very proud of that outcome.
Yeah, that's
a lot
fantastic.
of our students. Yeah,
because we obviously, a lot of our clients overseas aim to study in New Zealand as a potential pathway to residence. A lot of them have families, so we tend to gear them towards a master's level study, which offers the benefit of a 3-year post-study visa for the student and family visas as well for the family, as you know. And having a job straight at the back of the studies, being able to start that job without any kind of interruption, is a major benefit to these families.
Yeah, I agree. So we do have many examples of that happening, and it's something we're very experienced and proficient in. We do also have a really strong career development service. So when you are studying at Waikato, through your own initiative, you can engage with that careers service and get support, attend careers expos on campus, be introduced to methods and support in terms of how you apply for roles. So yeah, we have a lot of service and support in that space. We're very much about employability. So yeah, we've been very happy to have supported many students to go into work after their degrees, which probably lends itself very nicely to tell you a little bit about us. I could have started with this, but again, we've gone into the nitty-gritties already of some of the key reasons why you can choose us. And here on the screen is some of the additional things that you may consider. We do have a dedicated academic and pastoral care team for our international students. So as Fabian's mentioned, if you're coming with family members or, you've come from another country to New Zealand for the very first time, there will be cultural changes, even just learning styles may be different to what you've been used to. So we've got dedicated teams who can help you with all of your transition to studying and living in New Zealand. Some of the programs that I've mentioned very briefly, we do have New Zealand's largest supercomputer, one of our Pro-Vice Chancellors here at the university is a leader in the area of artificial intelligence, and we have New Zealand's first cybersecurity lab. So this is a real booming industry for us. Similarly, we have a lot of strengths in marine science and aquaculture at our Tauranga campus. We've got beautiful facilities on campus, a lot of strengths in health, sport and human performance with our High Performance Centre, where the New Zealand Sevens team, the New Zealand rowing and cycling teams operate out of our facilities. And we do also encourage any students, perhaps at undergraduate level, coming to study with us to study abroad as well. So we've got many different options, but one thing I must highlight about Hamilton and Tauranga is our cost of living. Considerably cheaper than the large centres around New Zealand, Australia, other countries, and I'll mention very briefly some details about our scholarships as well. So these would be some reasons that we encourage students to consider applying to us. One of those amazing facilities that we have is our PAR building, which has just opened recently, the PAR. Fabian, Jess and Pay and myself met here for coffee just recently. But again, as a space for our students, we've just recently held graduation. We have many porphyries, welcomes, huis, which are meetings. This is just the heart of the campus now, a place where you can come and eat, gather, and graduate. So when you do come to Waikato, you will start and end your journey in this building. And it's now very much the entrance to the university, which we're very proud of. So just a few shots for you there. So I mentioned scholarships earlier. We do have a large number of scholarships. So I often get asked, how many scholarships do you have? Well, essentially, if you meet our requirements for scholarships, we don't have a restriction on it. Our scholarships are merit-based. So because they are awarded on merit, you need to have achieved a B+ or higher average in your previous studies to starting with us. So if you do have that B+ and above, you will receive an amount between $10,000 and $15,000 off your tuition fees for the first year. So if you're an all A's student, A+ student, you would be getting that full 15,000 New Zealand dollars. And what we ask you to do is when you have applied to the university through New Zealand Shores, you'll then have a student ID number generated. Once you have that and you also have an offer from the university, be it conditional or unconditional, you can then apply for a scholarship. We have a panel that meets each and every month, and then 2 weeks after that panel, a decision is sent to you via New Zealand Shores to tell you the decision of your scholarship. We do also have a range of additional scholarships. This is our Vice-Chancellor's International Excellence Scholarship. It's the scholarship majority of our international students can apply for. But if you are from various other countries, China, India, if you're from particular countries, China, India, Malaysia, Vietnam, we have dedicated scholarship awards for students from those countries as well. So you can look on our website at our scholarships finder and enter your details. For example, you're a postgraduate student coming from Malaysia, and it will pull up a list of all the scholarships you're eligible to apply for. But always apply for the Vice-Chancellor's International Excellence Scholarship.
When do they apply for it? Soon after they receive the offer letter? And they put up a scholarship application, and by when they can expect decision on the scholarship?
Yeah, those are great questions. So yes, once a student or an applicant has a conditional or an unconditional offer with us, you can apply. Our scholarship applications are reviewed monthly. So it's normally in the first week of a month. So if you apply in the first week of a month, you won't be reviewed until the following month. And then normally it's two to 3 weeks after that. So basically from time of application to having a decision, it'll be approximately 6 weeks until you find out whether you've received that scholarship. So you just have to have an application and an offer with us, and then you can apply.
Suppose they have paid the fee in full and their scholarships gets approved at a later stage, will they get it credited back, or how does that?
That's a great question. One of the requirements of our scholarship application, it's in the T's and C's, is that at the point of application for a scholarship, you can't have paid your fees. So we always welcome you to pay your fees, and I appreciate that it's part of your visa application. But if you are planning to apply for a scholarship, do that before you pay your fees. And then yes, if you've followed the order in terms of our regulations, which again are listed on our website, after you've paid your fees, that amount will either be credited to your bank account or can be applied to your account as a credit at the university. So for example, if you're doing a 2-year master's program, that amount would be on your account to come off any future fee payments.
Yep. Thank you for the clarification. It helps.
No, that's no problem. You're asking me all the tough questions, testing my knowledge. New Zealand Shores team, that's what I would say you're very good at. You know our systems and processes inside and out. So you do, thank you for bearing with me as I call on my memory to give you all the details. But I don't want to talk the whole session because we have Pei who has some amazing information to share with you. So I will talk now very briefly about some key qualifications in our School of Health, Engineering, Computing and Science. So earlier I mentioned that we have the Waikato Management School. This is our division of Health, Engineering, Computing and Science. We have a large number of schools, and a division is made up of a number of schools. So this school, you can see we have, this division, we have 9 undergraduate qualifications and 12 postgraduate qualifications. So I can talk to a couple of them. We do have a number of new qualifications at the University of Waikato, which you can see here on the screen. One program that's been extremely popular this year, and I've got a couple of slides on this, is the Master of Nursing Practice. Similarly, we've talked about the Artificial Intelligence Institute that we have, and we do teach that subject into our Master of Science. And I'll show a little bit here about what our degree structure looks like. So if you were coming to do a Master of Information Technology, you can see that we've got 120 up to 240 point options. And what that means is that your degree can be tailored depending on your background. So if you have come from a postgraduate qualification in your own country and are interested in doing just a 1-year program with us and have suitable research or postgraduate study background, you could do a 1-year program. If you're looking to do a research master's in order to progress to a PhD, you may be looking at the 180 or 120 point program that we offer. So we're very proud again at Waikato that our degrees are flexible and can be tailored to what you're interested in and what your future plans are. So here on the screen are 3 examples of 3 different programs. You can see the degree planner for our Master of Information Technology. There is an internship, and again, then there are anything in dark grey are elective or subjects that you then choose and work on. Anything in yellow is compulsory, and red, sorry, are the electives. So this is the structure of 3 masters, all masters programs, but very, very different in terms of what your study and years look like. For our Master of Nursing Practice, this is quite a prescribed program because this is a conversion master's where you can come from any background, and you can come and study and graduate as a provisionally registered nurse. So you can stay and work. We have a nursing shortage in New Zealand, which New Zealand Shores can probably talk a little more to. But this program, like I say, has been very popular. Applications have now closed for 2024. But if you are considering nursing as a route to residency, or again, a route to a guaranteed role in New Zealand, or even returning to practice as a nurse in your home country, we have a 2-year dedicated nursing program. We partner with the Waikato Health Board, Waikato District Health Board. We have a very large Waikato District Hospital. Here in Hamilton, you can see on the screen, we do have a slightly higher IELTS entry requirement for nursing, and that is because of the Nursing Council of New Zealand. Similarly with the Teaching Council, certain programs we require a higher English entry because of the requirements set by council for us. So hopefully there's enough detail there for everyone. If you are considering nursing, a 2-year master's program, there's some little detail about when it starts. It's only a February start, and the tuition fee program is listed there for you for the whole degree.
I can certainly see some strong interest in that program, because you have almost guaranteed employment at the back of this, nursing registration, and a very straightforward pathway to residence. As the audience might know, registered nurses feature on the green list by Immigration New Zealand, which means subject to a job offer and registration with Nursing Council, you can apply directly for residence and be granted residency within a month or so. I note that the fees are reasonable, considering it's a full 2-year program. Tell me, this is full for 2024 already. When should people start expressing interest for the 2025 intake?
So from January 2024, we reopen. So again, early next year, come to the New Zealand Shores team, come to us, and we can start to take applications to be considered.
Okay.
It's part of applying to this. There are, requirements of English and entry to be met, and then there are some additional requirements in terms of interview and meeting, reference checks, criminal background. You have to provide a personal statement. So it's always really good to be organised with this and any programs where, like teaching, as I mentioned, where you may have additional checks by the councils to be met. Yeah. One of our most popular programs I must highlight is our Master of Business and Management. So if you again are from any undergraduate background but looking to work and move into the area of business and management, this is a 1-year program, and you can start in February, July, or November. It includes a 1-month internship in our Triple Crown accredited business school. You learn all elements of business and management, from marketing to accounting, finance, and then you work on an integrative learning project. So you work in a company, and sometimes you're working alongside some of your classmates and groups, working on real life projects with a company. So it's been a really very popular program, which is why we have the 3 intakes to accommodate both our domestic and international students coming into that program. I'll quickly skip to my end and hand over to Pei, but my details here, I will leave with the New Zealand Shores team have, and I'm always here to answer questions and help with the application or the scholarship updates and various things. So
one question I had was for students who might fall short of entry requirements, say for postgrad, for example, are there pathways or foundation programs that they can enroll into towards meeting certain entry requirements?
Most definitely. And I think that lends very nicely to introduce you to Pei, who can cover some of the options that we have here at the Waikato College.
Right, okay. Let me just share my screen. Kia ora everyone. I am Pei from the University of Waikato College. As Laura introduced previously, we are part of the university, and we offer a series of programs for students who shortly missed entry requirement to our bachelor's degree and our postgraduate qualifications. I am going to give you a overview of the college and why the student want to choose the college. So we like I said, we provide a wide range of programs from English to pre-masters, to providing a seamless transition to the degree studies. I am going to give you an overview from the next page with detailed information on the programs. At the same time, we provide a supportive and personalized learning environment. Majority of the student, foundation student, we have a chance of having one-to-one sessions with our tutors. All of the learning plans are tailor-made to every student going forward to their progression degrees in the future. Our college student, our university student from day one, what I'm emphasizing this, I mean, you may be aware, of other colleges across New Zealand and maybe in Australia, they are themselves a private institution, and they may be outside of the university. But for the students studying at the college, we are right in the center of the university campus, and a college student have access to everything, all the facilities and services available in the university to the degree student. That's included, the library, student centers, UniRec, all of the health service facility, everything available to the degree students. We have a dedicated team of multilingual student advisors who are trained to provide academic and pastoral care services to our students. We students learn from tutors with extensive experience in teaching. The majority of the tutors have a PhD degree, and they're very experienced in teaching students. And as you may know, we're based in the centre of the Hamilton campus, and we're operated by the Navitas, which is Australia education company, as part of their global network of colleges, so we can, really leverage and the expertise in providing services and teaching to our students. Right, discover our programs. Like I said, we have a range of programs that we provide to the students. These are from academic English, to be specific, attainment in academic English from level 1 to 8. So these programs designed specific for international students who do not meet the English requirement for our degree studies. With their current English proficiency, we'll be able to place them into the relevant levels for them to be able to meet the English requirement to our degree studies without taking IELTS test. I know quite a few, international students are quite nervous about setting exams, so this gave them an opportunity to not setting the test. Foundation programs, certificate attainment and foundation studies, we have 2 streams for this program. So this program is a specific design for students who shortly miss the UE, as we mentioned before. Majority of the degree in University of Waikato will require students to have an equivalent university entrance. We know, we understand, different students have different situations. If they shortly miss the entry requirement for the degree, they can come to study with us. And this program will prepare them for the degree study at the university. We have 2 streams for this foundation program. One is standard, which is 8 months, and the other fast pass is 4 months study. They have different entry requirement, but within 8 months of study time, they are ready to go to their degree studies. The student who finish the foundational programs can have a guarantee progression to majority of the degrees within the university. Some of the exceptions may include Bachelor of Teaching, and Bachelor of Engineering, which may require additional prerequisite, but they have access to majority of the degrees. International Diploma in Business is one of the very popular programs. This is especially designed for students who have completed their secondary school qualification, but again, shortly missed university entrance. This can serve as the first year of the bachelor's degree, which means by completing of this program, student can progress to the second year of the Bachelor of Business at the university directly, which will shorten their study time here, and which is more cost effective. So it is very popular at the moment. They have access, they have guaranteed access. Once they pass this program, they have guaranteed process to the Bachelor of Business degrees for all of the majors we offered at the university. So International Diploma in Computer Science is a new program, which is similar to the International Diploma in Business. February intake next year will be the first intake for this program. Again, designed for students who shortly miss the university entrance and want to do a computer science for their bachelor's degree. By finishing this program, students can progress to our Bachelor of Science in Computer Science and Data Analytics or Bachelor of Computer Science. Diploma in Postgraduate Preparation. This is the most popular programs at the moment. We have heaps of interest from international students. We have really good enrollment. So this provides a pathway for students who want to do a master's degree but haven't got a bachelor degree equivalent yet. I will give more details in the next couple of pages. Last but not least, we have an IELTS Test Center right located in the college, which provide testing for our student. Right, let's have a look at the pathways to bachelor's degree. As I mentioned, this is the international foundation for students who shortly miss the university entrance and who wants to do a bachelor's degree. We have 3 intakes in the full year. Students can come to study with us in February, July, and November. Academic entry requirements, like Laura mentioned, we have different entry requirements from different countries. You will be able to find these entry requirements very easily on the college's website. We have listed fees and certificate completion, the progress options here. Like I said, there's a standard accelerated streams for students who have different grades from their secondary school education. This is an academic pathway to bachelor's degree. This is an Internship Diploma in Business and Computer Science. Like I mentioned previously, again, the entry requirement will be different, depends on where the student are from. Any questions so far?
Yes, so
yeah.
National Diploma for this new computer science program, that's a 2-year program or it is a 1-year program?
It is a 1-year program.
So effectively, they'll be doing, when they pass out as a Bachelor of Science and Computer Science, they would be doing 3 years in total.
Yes, they'll be doing this diploma for 1 year by completion, and they will progress to the 2nd year of a bachelor's degree and do a study for another 2 years and finish by bachelor's degree. So all in total 3 years.
Thank you.
All right, cool. This is the pathway to the master's degree, our pre-masters. We have 2 intake at the moment, July and November. Unfortunately, we don't have a February intake at the moment because of paper offerings, but we have whole heaps of interest from international students and our networks. So we will be looking into the possibility of increasing and adding another February intake. But at this stage, we only have July and November intake. You'll be able to see the English entry requirement. It is 6.0 IELTS equivalent. This is, I would say, much lower than the English language requirement to the master's degree. So by finish this program, when they progress to the master's degree at the University of Waikato, for majority of the program, they do not need to set another IELTS test. Academic entry requirement is, this is for students who have completed normally 2 years of tertiary education. Again, it'll be different, depends on where the students are from. Some of the students, they may have completed a bachelor's degree in their country, but cannot be assessed as an equivalent bachelor's degree in New Zealand. But generally, if a student has completed 2 years of tertiary education and want to do a master's degree, this is the best program for them. We have flexibility in choosing progression master's degree. That means all of our students, even if they've already enrolled into this pre-master degree, they still have the option to change the idea to the progression master degree they want to do. I'll give you one example. We had a student enrolled in this pre-masters. When they were enrolled with us, they were wanting to do a master professional accounting. But when they came here, after the, study with us and, after, looking into the immigration, maybe, requirement, they then decided they want to do a master of nursing practice. As you mentioned, it is very good qualification. Is a good pathway for immigration. So they changed their mind. They were very successful in the pre-master's degree. They are now doing their internship for the master of nursing practice. So we have huge flexibility in choosing papers, and a student can change their mind even if after they enrolled. We have listed a progression degree here. You can see the student have options of progressing into management school degrees, as Laura introduced. The Master of Applied Finance, the Master of Business Management, again, is very popular degree. For us, they also have the option of progressing into Master of Information Technology for 240 points version. Also, Master of Nursing Practice, however, there will be additional prerequisite to progress into this Master of Nursing Practice. And we have recently added Master of Legal Study into the list. This is very interesting. Although students, correct me if I'm wrong, Laura, although students can't practice with this Master of Legal Studies, they still have very good opportunity to put them, put their foot into the legal study careers in New Zealand.
Quick question, Pei.
Yeah.
2 questions, actually.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is, assuming one student passes all their pre-master's papers, do they have guaranteed entry into a master's of their choosing?
Well, that's a very good question. So they have different progression degrees. Once they, let me give you some examples. So if they pass all of the 6 papers of this pre-master, they can get a guarantee progression into majority of the business master degrees offered by Waikato Management School, which is Master of Applied Finance, Business Management, Digital Business, Professional Accounting, and Supply Chain Management. So if they pass all of the papers, which means C+, and here pass here at the Waikato University means C minus. If they pass them with C, they can have access, guaranteed access. For Master of Information Technology, they need to pass the papers with a B minus, minimum B minus, or GPA 4.0. And for Master of Nursing Practice, they need to pass it with B average, and they might be a selection process for the Master of Nursing Practice. So unfortunately, it's not guaranteed progress to the Master of Nursing Practice.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you. My second question was around the format of these classes. Am I right to say that these are strictly full-time for international students, or could you take the pre-masters while working, say part-time, for example?
These are all full-time programs. Okay,
great. Thank you.
Are they allowed to work part-time while studying for this program?
As I said, these all full programs are all NCQ registered programs. So I believe if they're eligible, they can work, they can get the work rights during their studies.
Yep, I believe they would have 20 hours per week and full-time during the school holidays.
Just a follow-up question. So effectively, if they're going with a pre-masters and then progressing towards digital business, effectively they will be studying for 2 years. Am I right?
Yes. So this pre-master's is an 8-month study, and plus Master of Digital Business is 12 months, so added up to 20 months. Yeah, roughly 2 years.
Okay.
These are really excellent options for someone with a diploma, a 2-year diploma.
Yes.
Yeah, we'll absolutely make sure we put these forwards, because I think a lot of our prospective clients would be interested in these options. What could you say about someone looking at studying in New Zealand? Why would you recommend Hamilton Waikato as opposed to Auckland or Christchurch, for example? Sell it to me. I mean, you don't, because I'm local. I know all the benefits of the Waikato, but if I was an international student looking to study somewhere in New Zealand, why would I choose the Waikato?
Sure, I can add some comments to that, and Pei might like to add some things too. Pei also chose to move to the Waikato, and I myself am not from this region too. So we are all here for our own reasons, but choosing to come and study at Waikato, think of your cost of living and your lifestyle. Those are important things, especially either if you're at undergraduate or postgraduate. But as I mentioned, and perhaps not just cost of living, but our fees are very competitive compared to our New Zealand and offshore competitors. When it comes to cost of living, you need to be looking at your accommodation, but again, your fees and your transport to and from campus. In Hamilton, Waikato, you can easily get around the city, the campus, very easily. A lot of our students live either on campus or very close to campus, so you don't have those travel or parking costs that you have in the larger centres. But again, we're very close to large centres, so if you want to travel and go to the big cities for shopping on the weekend, or take your family or yourself to the beach or hiking, we have that here in the Waikato. So I think cost is important, but that lifestyle, I've told many families and parents that you can focus on your studies at a university like Waikato. You can be focused during the week, and then on the weekends have your time. You don't have to fight the battle of traffic and busy city life. You can come to campus, do your study, go home and enjoy your time. So that's my take on it.
I want to add that, especially I know it's also true for the university, but also in the college, our international students are mixed with domestic students, especially for foundation student. That they are in the same classroom with our domestic student. They have a really good opportunity to learn from them. They learn from each other, learn the New Zealand culture, and also for international students who do not speak English as their first language. That's a really good opportunity for them to improve their English language capability. We will also incorporate that into our programs. For example, the pre-masters, we have incorporated 2 papers, English papers, specially designed for international students to increase their English capability and to get them ready for work and life in New Zealand.
Brilliant. Thank you, Pei. We broached on the campus living topic just a few minutes ago. Now, a lot of our clients are interested in master studies, one, because they have family, so that would grant their partner work rights and their children the right to study for free at school in New Zealand. These families would typically, sort out their own accommodation, but for single students without a partner wanting to come and study at Waikato, what accommodation options have you got to offer?
Yeah, we've got a range of options, and even if a family is looking to come and provide their own accommodation, we do have support and guidelines on our website of safe and good places to look for that accommodation. In terms of on-campus living accommodation, though, we have traditional halls of residence where you share a floor with 10 to 20 other students. You have your own room but share bathroom facilities. We also we have 3 large halls of residence. A lot of primarily undergraduate students in those halls. We also have Orchard Park, which is small housing and apartment style living. So you have your own room, and again you share a small house with 3 or 4 or 5 others, and you have a communal kitchen and bathroom, and you live in a shared living arrangement. We also have brand new apartment style living, which is fully self-catering, so you have your own bathroom, kitchen, in an apartment style living. So we cater from fully catered right to cater for your own. And when I say fully catered, our halls of residence have food package options where you have all your food catered for you, and we have a range of dietary offerings as well, so it'd be halal through to vegetarian, vegan.
Thank you so much, Laura and Pei, for your time today. It's been very good to see what the University of Waikato has to offer. Anyone looking to study in New Zealand, please email study@newzealandshores.com, and one of our education agents will be in touch about the most appropriate study option for you. And we'll talk with University of Waikato what can be arranged to meet your migration goals. Thanks again, Laura. Thank you, Pei, and we'll be in touch very soon. Thank you.
Thanks, team.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.